Mr. Miller, you claim your girlfriend, Ms. Troutman, left you for another man.
Yes,
you
ma'am.
say that when she returned, you forgave her and quickly resumed your sexual relationship.
Yes.
Shortly after, she announced she was pregnant. Now you claim there's a distinct possibility that you're not the father of her newborn baby, Deja.
Nope.
Now, Ms. Troutman.
Yes, Your Honor.
You admit to leaving Mr. Miller for another man and to having a 2-week affair.
Yes.
You claim you left because Mr. Miller wasn't taking care of you or his family responsibilities. You argue you're also fed up with his mother, Mrs. Miller, because she butts into your relationship and has convinced the plaintiff that he is not your baby's father.
Yes.
Now, Ms. Troutman.
Yes.
How did you end up in this situation?
Well, I wouldn't have been sleeping around with other men if he was doing his responsibility as a father and taking care of his girls and me also. He wasn't buying diapers, wipes, clothes. His mother was the man of our relationship. She took care of us. She put a roof over our heads. She took all of us in.
How did you two meet?
I was staying with both of my parents. My father is deceased, so I kind of grew up a little bit rough. I grew up with my mother. She was a single parent, but she was not a mother to me. She was more of my friend. I took care of my brother and my sisters, and I just got tired of living that life. So I started to run away from home. Well, when I ran away from home, I had met Tony's mother, Cindy. She took me in. She, put clothes, roof over my head, food in my mouth. She was a mother that I never had before. I love her dearly, and I thank her dearly for doing that for me. And, well, one day we were sitting outside. I was sitting with her neighbor, and a car pulls up. And I'm like, well, who is this, pulling up in front of my mother, Cindy's house? I look up to her as a mom. And it was her son. Me and him got to talking, knowing each other a little bit, and we hit it off. We had sex that night.
Oh, you got to know each other just a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
We clicked really good. We did click.
Yeah.
Okay, just one moment, ma'am. Continue.
And, maybe prior to 2 to 3 weeks, that's when I was feeling a little bit nauseous, throwing up all the time. So him and his mother suggested that I was pregnant. And come to find out, I was. But after, we found out I was pregnant, everything went good. It was okay. We all had a good relationship. They was there for me. They helped me through my pregnancy. They was there when I gave birth to her. Everything was fine.
Mr. Miller, let me hear your account of this.
I fell in love with her. Love at first sight,
Okay.
I did. I love her.
That's lovely to say.
I did.
And you had one child together.
We had one child together after being with her for a month.
And then you're on to number 2.
Yes, we have a second child, Deja.
And you have doubts about number 2.
I do have doubts.
Why?
I go out of town, and I came home, and I seen her with another guy at the plasma center. And he was holding my firstborn. I said, who's this guy holding my kid? And she said, oh, that's my boyfriend. I'm like, really? I go out of town for a week, and you already have another boyfriend. And I said, well...
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You go out of town?
I go out of town.
For how long?
For a week.
For a week?
1 week.
And you come back and somebody's holding your first child.
Chelsea, yes.
When you ask her,
she
says, it's my boyfriend?
It's my boyfriend.
That's not true.
I'm with him.
What happened, Ms. Troutman?
Well, what happened was when he had went away, we was broken up. We had got into an argument. We were no longer together when I was dating the person that I met at the plasma center. We were not together.
We were still talking.
So when he did come back on his trip, me and my friend with my daughter was leaving the plasma center, and he was walking down the street. So Tony approaches me, and he's all happy. He's lovey-dovey. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, nothing. Me and my friends finna walk to my mom's house for my daughter's birthday. He's like, well, can I talk to you for a moment? I'm like, yeah, we can talk. He's like, I'm so sorry for us getting into it. I apologize.
No,
I really want you back. Will you please come back home with me? Then he got to talking about how he was going on some trip or whatever with a friend. He didn't want to live here no more in Indy or whatever. And I was like, okay, I felt for it. I told him that I'd come back home with his daughter. And I did. Later on that night, I came back home.
Oh, so in just that encounter, he changed your mind and you said, I'm gonna come back home.
Yeah, the guy that I was with, I was upset when me and him got into it. I was lonely. I was looking for some comfort. And he showed me that comfort.
One fight.
And you admit
no, it
that
was not just no
during
one fight. No.
Ms. Troutman, you admit that during that time, you were intimate with another man.
Yes.
And during that time, were you intimate with anyone else?
No. Well, yes, I was when me and him, I'm sorry.
Really?
Yes, I
Get it
was.
straight.
When
Get
me
it
and
straight.
him, when me and him got into it and we had broken up, yes, I was with that guy that I was with.
The plasma center guy.
Yes, but we were separated. We were not together.
And was that the only man you were with during
No,
that time?
that is not the only guy that I was with.
Okay. Continue.
Well, me and Tony relationship has not been A1. It's been so rough, and I've just got tired of it. I got tired of the arguments between him and his mom. My kids are hearing all of this, to where my daughter's saying to shut up and all this extra stuff. So I got tired of it.
And you were so disgusted by that,
I
ran
left
out the house,
and
slipped on a banana peel, and landed in the bed with somebody else.
No, that is not what happened.
I'm trying to figure out how this
That's not what happened. No.
leads up to you sleeping with yet another man besides the plasma center guy. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. You were so disgusted by that, you ran
left
out the house,
and
slipped on a banana peel, and landed in the bed with somebody else.
No, that is not what happened.
I'm trying to figure out how this
That's not what happened. No.
leads up to you sleeping with yet another man besides the plasma center guy. Come on,
Well,
tell
I
the truth
moved in
now.
with my auntie, and she got to telling me how he's not right for me, how I need to do better for me and my kids. And she was like, she got to telling me about the little chat line or whatnot, have you, and I got on it. And I met a guy. I did. He took me out, and yeah, we slept with each other that night that we went out and met each other.
I get on the chat line, Your Honor. She doesn't even know that it's me, and she tries to holler at me while I'm on the chat line.
That is not true.
You do,
That's
on the
not true.
chat line.
No.
So you were playing
I
Dick
caught it.
Tracy,
That's not
and you
true.
got on the chat
No,
line.
I did.
And you began to talk to her on the chat line to see if she would respond.
Yes,
Your Honor.
And she took the bait.
She did.
But my friend already knew who it was, so he didn't catch anything.
You were still
But I
on
do
the
have
chat
the
line.
calendar of when I did sleep with the men. I did.
So you submitted the issues surrounding the date of conception.
Yes.
Jerome, can you please hand me that? Thank you.
You're welcome.
So you have a February calendar laid out so we can understand what all was going on.
Yes.
In yellow, we have the dates you were with the chat line guy.
Yes, ma'am.
The green outlines the dates you were with the guy at the plasma center.
Yes, ma'am.
And the blue are the dates you were intimate with Mr. Miller.
Yes, ma'am.
You look from the date Deja was born at the end of November, look back, it's clear that 3 different men could potentially be her father.
Not 3, just 1.
The estimated time of conception is outlined in bold, and included within that is a rainbow of colors. So if you say there's only one potential father, who is that? There's only one potential father, who is that?
I'm hoping that it's Tony. I'm hoping that it's him. But, I mean, as me, all 3 could be the dad. All 3 could be.
And I can see that hurts you to say. You're very emotional right now. What are you feeling?
I'm just hurt because we wouldn't be going through this if he was there. If he was there, it wouldn't be no problems right now. It wouldn't be. But he was not there. He was not there as a father. He was not there to comfort me. He was not there.
When you say comfort you mean in general, or was there some particular instance that you felt like he let you down or he wasn't there for you?
We had a threesome with one of her friends one time.
Okay.
And I think I might be the blame for her wanting to cheat on me because of that because we had a threesome. I mean, I told her she wanted to do it. It wasn't my idea.
It wasn't just a threesome. It was times that I woke up in the morning and seen him doing something to her. There's also been times when I went through his phone and he's got pictures of her in her underwear. In her underwear. There was a time we was sitting in the car and he went through her phone like we didn't know what he was doing to transfer some of her photos from her phone to his. And I feel like that he got a file in the computer of pictures of hers, if you really want me to be honest.
So this is an interesting fact. And Ms. Troutman, you fell for what I call the okey doke. The short form of that is don't write a check that later
You can't cash.
you can't cash. This relationship is now in jeopardy because of choices you both made. Immature choices. We're not just talking about Deja. You have another child together.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So you two are parents running around here acting like you all are experimenting and enjoying life. And no, you have responsibilities. And then unfortunately, at the end of the day, Ms. Troutman, you're allowing him to do things that you can't handle emotionally. Then, because you feel like he betrayed you, you go out, make a rainbow-colored mess, and then come back and blame it on him.
But I love you. I love her. I still love her. We still get along. She's my best friend. I just hope Deja is mine.
That's wonderful. I want to hear from your mother. Ms. Miller, please stand.
I've been waiting for
You've
this
been waiting
opportunity.
for your turn.
You let me up here.
I am ready to hear from you.
While I'm butting in their business, then let them go find their own place to live, by the way.
Okay, I heard that.
I'm buying diapers. They should both be working, doing what they're supposed to do, and then I won't butt. But these kids are needing things that they can't provide, and I've been helping out. And I seen that guy. Deja looks just like him. I wanted to believe her because she said it was my son's baby, it's my
Which
grandbaby.
guy did you see?
I seen the guy. I went and picked, Tony and I went and picked her up.
They both saw the guy.
That she was gone 2 weeks with.
Bottom line is, you got a glimpse.
I know what he looks like, and I seen Deja, and I can't help but think, I hope not, but she looks just like the other
Which
guy.
guy? The plasma guy
The
or the
plasma
chat
center
line
guy.
guy?
Plasma guy.
The plasma center
Plasma guy. You feel like she looks just like him?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Prove me wrong. Please.
Do you want this young girl to be your grandchild?
I love both little children. Both of them. They're my babies. Show them a picture. Show them both of them.
She sure is acting like a grandparent.
I love them dearly. The first one, Chelsea, she's attached to my hip.
They're adorable, just adorable.
And I
This
just
is
love
Chelsea.
both of
This is
them.
Deja.
It's not going to matter. I'm going to love them both anyway.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now, Ms. Troutman, what are your hopes today?
I hope that she's his. I want her to be his. I really do.
And this is very important to you.
It is.
Because truly, these people standing over here are your family in more ways than one.
They've been there through thick and thin for me. This is the only mother that's done anything for me. And I will tell anybody that any day. And I don't want her to grow up like me. I want her to have both of her parents.
When I see situations like this where I know a child is loved and accepted, part of me wants to rip up the results. Because if we don't know, she'll never know. And then she can just receive the love that she deserves. However, I know that the truth in the end is something that is invaluable. That even knowing this information for her, if Mr. Miller, you are not determined to be her biological father, she should know. Jerome, the envelope, please. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. When it comes to the paternity of 8-month-old Deja Miller, Mr. Miller,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are not her father.
Hey.
Patrice.
Patrice, baby, I love you, baby. I will. Come here. Hey.
Jerome,
Your
can you
Honor.
please go check on Mr. Miller and Miss Troutman?
May I say something to you?
Yes, ma'am.
This family has been torn over this a lot, and this has helped. And I want to thank you for you and your staff, your
And I
kindness.
thank you.
thank
I thank you for coming and being strong enough. They're going to come back in. Thank you for returning to the courtroom. I know this was emotional for both of you. Can you put into words what you're feeling, Miss Troutman?
I'm hurt.
You're
I can't blame nobody but myself. I can't blame nobody but myself.
You really wanted Mr. Miller to be her father.
I did. Yeah, I did. I really, really did.
Mr. Miller, how do you feel?
In my gut, I always kind of knew, but like I said, I don't care. I love him. I do. I'm dad. It hurts, you know?
I know without question that you love these children. I know without question that you love Miss Troutman. You too have acted irresponsibly as it relates to your relationship. But when you become parents, you gotta get it together. Because it's not Ms. Miller's responsibility to buy the diapers and make sure these children are okay while you all are out running around having threesomes and acting like you don't have any sense.
That's well said.
Mr. Dark, you say the defendant is a promiscuous liar who broke your heart 4 years ago, stepping out on your then relationship. You admit to having a one-night stand with her 2 years ago, but are furious Ms. Bailey is now claiming you fathered her 11-month-old son, which you say is impossible. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Bailey, you say Mr. Dark is a deadbeat who knows full well he is your son Jameer's father. You claim there is no way anyone but Mr. Dark could have fathered your son. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Dark, why would you call Ms. Bailey a promiscuous liar?
Your Honor, I've been knowing Miss Bailey for probably about 7 or 8 years, and she's had a history of things like this. And I'm just gonna tell you a little bit about myself and Miss Bailey. We was in a relationship for about 4 years.
Okay.
Everything was okay. Everything was pretty good. When I first met her, we had some good conversations about establishing us a family and probably having kids, things like that. We lived together at that time. I left to go out of town to do some work. I was working out of town, out of state, as a matter of fact. I went to Florida to do some work in Florida. While I was going to Florida to do some work, I talked to Miss Bailey about almost every day. I was gone for about 3 or 4 days, you know, telling me how much she loved me, how much she missed me, and vice versa. I was telling her the same thing because we was in love with each other from my understanding. But when I come back, she was doing her best friend's hair at the house. So I came in from work, gave her a kiss, whatever, you know, told her that I was gonna walk to the store for a second to grab some things. When I left out of the door to go to the store, her best friend came running out of the door to like, hey, Terrence, wait up for a second, I'm gonna go to the store with you. So, you know, I thought that was kind of strange, like, why'd you know? But anyway, we went on to the store. Well, while we was going to the store, her friend started to tell me a story. She was like, well, I just want to tell you something. She was like, well, the whole time that you was gone, she was cheating on you.
Her best friend told you
This
that?
is what her best friend told me. Yes, ma'am.
And I only did it because I thought you was cheating on me.
Okay. But
So you admit you cheated on him?
I did.
Okay, and so your best friend told on you?
Yep.
What happened to your relationship with Miss Bailey at that point?
I tried to work past it, again, because of the things that we had already discussed of us being a family and us, you know, trying to work things out, possibly us getting married or whatever the case may be. But I tried to work it past for about approximately a year or so, but I just couldn't take it. I couldn't deal with it no more.
And so how is it you came back
together because Jameer is 11 months old, so that something else had to happen.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
We never stopped. We never stopped dealing with each other along the way. Even though we separated, we still occasionally seen each other every, like 2, 3, maybe every 2 months, 3 months or so.
What's dealt with each other mean?
We still seen each other occasionally.
Seen each other and had sex, or
Yes,
just
ma'am.
seen each other
Still
and
was
said
having
hello?
unprotected sex sometimes. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. So you kept having sex until
2016.
It was like early March.
you have sex and you didn't use protection.
No.
ma'am.
When was Jameer born?
November 13th.
And you're saying the last time you were really intimate was around in March.
Yes.
If Jameer's birth date is November 13, 2016, then that means the conception window would be February 17th to February 24th, 2016.
Right.
And you said
But I
you
had-
all weren't intimate until March.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
And she had
February-
early.
I'm sorry?
And she
I
had
had
early.
him early, like, I was due November 30th.
Oh, what, a 30th? Okay.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, Mr. Dark, is this doesn't add up.
No, ma'am. No kind of way.
Because you weren't intimate until at least the second week of March. And
The first week, around the 6th or 7th of March.
So with the calculation and the date she's using, Mr. Dark, you're saying this pregnancy would only been 8 months.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
you believe she was already pregnant when you
Yes,
all were
ma'am.
intimate in
She
March.
had to be already pregnant. And so I guess I was just a crutch.
Whatever. Like,
Yes, ma'am.
You feel like you were a crutch.
Yes, ma'am. Because from the beginning, I was there at the hospital when Jameer was born, even with my doubts, because in the back of my mind, I didn't never want to feel like, okay, he really was my son and I didn't do the things that I was supposed to do as a father. I was there when he was born. The onesies and stuff that he took home,
Okay, so
I
why
bought for
did you
them.
sign the birth
Pampers,
certificate?
the Pampers that he had,
Miss Bailey, what are you feeling in this moment?
Like,
What's
I don't-
upsetting you?
And the reason why I signed the birth certificate, to answer your question, is because you told me at the hospital that if I didn't sign it right then I
No,
wouldn't
I
have
did
another
not.
opportunity to
I
sign it.
didn't-
That's what you told me right there at the hospital.
no, I didn't. You didn't have to sign it. I didn't force you to sign it. You
If
signed
I
it on your
didn't
own.
sign it, what was gonna happen? He won't have your last name. You won't get to sign it. Did you not say that?
Okay, but
Okay, you said
I did
that.
not tell you that. No, I did not. I said, okay, if you don't sign, okay, that's on you.
What is upsetting you in this moment, Miss Bailey?
Because
Tell
he
the
know
court.
that it is his son. Like, my baby look exactly like him.
It's upsetting you because he's denying him?
Yes. You don't understand. I have
but
3
this
other
is- you
kids
do
that I
this to
take care
yourself.
of by myself.
Right. And you've had this same problem previously.
Okay, but I made sure that I wasn't gonna do it again. Like, I made sure that you was gonna be the only person.
Miss Bailey, have you been in a paternity situation before?
I have. With my ex.
You have?
Yes.
With your ex. So one of your other children, there was a paternity question surrounding that.
Yes.
And you got it resolved? It was determined
That he wasn't.
the biological father. Do you know who your child's biological father is, that
Yes.
child? You do know.
Yes, I do.
So now history is repeating itself in this moment for you.
Yes, it is.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
The question then is, were you intimate in February during the window of conception we outlined between February 17th to February 24th?
No, ma'am.
No.
Both of you said no. So, Miss Bailey, I must ask you, respectfully, who were you intimate with during that time in February?
No one. I haven't had sex in February. No one.
Was the baby a full-term baby?
Yes, he was.
This is it's almost 3 weeks after. Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. I'm very sure.
All right, I'd like to hear from your witness. Please stand, ma'am.
I don't even understand why she here.
And you can step up to the podium. State your name for the court.
My name is Yana Bradley.
Miss Bradley, thank you for joining us. You are what relationship to Mr. Dark?
I'm his current girlfriend, and I'm pregnant with his
Oh, now
child.
he's girlfriend.
Okay, what would you like to tell the court?
Well, first, in my personal opinion, I don't feel like the baby looks like him. That's just my personal opinion.
So you do not feel like there is a physical resemblance.
No.
What else do you know about the paternity situation?
Well, my due date is November 19th. My conception date is February 24th.
Oh, and we're now 1 year later, but what you're saying is that you have a similar due date
Yes.
as the one that was presented for Jameer, as when Jameer was born.
Yes.
Okay, well, we two different people. Like,
It don't matter.
but still. And my baby
You're
look-
two different people, Miss Bailey, but at the same time, comparatively, there's going to be a child that will potentially be born around the same time as yours, exactly 1 year later, which further indicates that this window of time of February 17th to February 24th is a more realistic time frame.
I understand, but still, like I said, he was the only person that I was having sex with.
Yeah, you said this the same to the previous guy. You told him the same exact thing. You
No,
was the
I
only
am.
person. Miss Bailey has a history of attached men. That's what she like.
Okay.
A history of attached men.
Yes, ma'am.
I grew up without
Explain.
my parents, so I want him to be
likes
there for my baby.
It's like, to me, I think she likes to destroy homes. Like, she likes
How?
to deal with attached men. Like,
How?
You're saying she likes to deal with attached men.
Yes,
Are
ma'am.
you an attached man now?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, have you been dealing with her while you're attached?
No, ma'am. But it probably not because I did.
Yes, he were.
Probably
Yes,
because
he were. He was calling my phone, asking me could he come over and have sex with me.
Judge, that's a lie, Your Honor. I got text messages that I done showed to my girl when she wasn't even here. Showing with Jessica like, oh, it's just me and Jameer tonight. You want to come watch a movie with us? You want, like, no.
Yeah, so
no.
you can be there for your child. You don't never come
I don't
over.
have to come over there at
You
10
didn't-
o'clock at night and watch a movie with you to be there for
Okay,
him.
so I
You
be
trying
at
to make
work
another
too.
one.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, you
Why
were.
would I want
Trying to
another
make
one by
another
you and you don't even do for the
So
first one?
Jameer is 11 months old. What has been your relationship
That's
with
why you don't
the
have
child?
your first child, because you don't do for her.
I was in Jameer's life. I've been a part of his life. I've gotten him. I've taken him with me. I've kept him. I took him to Alabama with me when I went to my granny's funeral last month. And my whole
Wow,
family,
for all
the
a
whole
couple of
family
days because
said
of
that
what?
that's not your
A
child.
So
funeral.
when you brought Jameer with you to your family member's funeral,
Yes, ma'am.
your whole family said to
whole
you, that's
family.
not your child.
The whole family. My mama said, boy, if you don't get that baby out of here. I'm telling you, that's exactly what she said to me.
Listen, ultimately, it's Jameer's life that's truly at stake in this moment because your relationship seems to be resolved, but the paternity question has not been resolved.
Right.
What are you hoping for, Ms. Bailey?
That he step up and that he do for my baby. Like, I don't understand. And I grew up without my parents, so I want him to be there for Jameer.
So you're saying you
like-
grew up without your parents?
I did. And it was very hard for me.
I can only imagine.
And it was
And
very
you
hard.
do not want that for your son.
No, I don't.
Yes, I knew there was something more behind the tears. And this situation is painful enough, but I've done this long enough to know that there was more behind the tears you're feeling. And even maybe some of the accusations Mr. Dark has testified to in terms of your choice in partners, what you've been through. It's difficult when you don't have your parents.
But Judge, I just like, it's so much she say I don't want to do for him. I bought him probably like about 15 ones when he first was born and some
You
diapers
did
and
not
stuff.
buy him
And I
nothing.
took him to her or whatever, but
It was
because of the
clothes that
fact
was already worn for someone
because of the
else.
fact that another lady gave me these things or whatever,
Okay,
but
so
it
why
was
would you
because
say you bought something
her
you
baby
never
never
bought
won.
that
They
thing?
were
Well, let me
brand new.
be clear. Even if he has not bought him something, he will be buying him things and
That's
paying
right.
child support because you put your name on that birth certificate, and that makes you the legal father. You
told
do
me-
understand that, right?
Okay.
And this is yet another reason why the stakes are so high today is because you have basically acknowledged paternity. By signing that birth certificate, you have said to your state, I am acknowledging that I'm the father of this child, which means you're responsible to take care of the child. You're going to be responsible for child support for this child.
Exactly.
And this is what is problematic because many men don't understand that when they are in that moment, if they have doubt, they cannot sign a birth certificate. And I don't care what type of stress, duress, I do not care. You can't do that because at that point, you are putting yourself on the hook as the father of this child. And there is no guarantee that a state will remove your name from that birth certificate. You have to petition. Even if today it is determined that Jameer is not your biological child, that does not change the fact that you are his legal father. And this courtroom is about, of course, resolving paternity issues for children, but it's also about empowering and informing people about what they need to do in situations like this, because this is not some momentary thing. You're responsible for this child. He's only 11 months old, and you got another one on the way. Jerome, I'm ready for the results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. If you need paternity court, call us at 855-883-6223. In the case of Dark versus Bailey, when it comes to 11-month-old Jameer Dark, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Dark, you are the father. You are the father.
I told you that he was yours.
Your word ain't, man.
Okay.
So listen, when I first told you you were the father, Mr. Dark, I saw genuine emotion on your face because I felt like in that moment you understood that for almost a year, this baby has been denied and questioned, and he doesn't deserve that.
Right.
And I have to say this to you. Yes, Ms. Bailey has made mistakes. Yes, she has had these situations before. But let's be clear, it could not have happened unless you participated too. So for all the blame we want to just put on her, really, this is both of your doing. And the only person that's truly suffered is Jameer, because he's almost one. And he really hasn't felt the full, complete love of his daddy. You don't know whether or not he has absorbed that negativity or that rejection. We have no way of knowing because he can't speak for himself, and that's why this courtroom will speak for him. And Ms. Bailey, I want you to understand that even though you didn't grow up with your parents, and I know in many ways you are looking for stability, love, acceptance. You've been out in the world as a young woman, giving yourself away and engaging in activity that does not serve you. And you understand that, right?
Right, I do.
You're a beautiful young woman, but that doesn't mean you go lay down with every man that says you're cute.